Today we are talking about Android 12. I'll tell you what's so bad in Android and what you definitely can improve there. We are talking about bugs and in general the software, the camera, the weather app and much more. Firstly, I will talk about things that aren't related to Android 12 and later in the video you'll get all the information about Android 12. Some things may be changed in the future with some updates, but this version I've installed right now I just want to show you. And without further ado, let's start with the video. So let's start with the camera. The noise reduction in a night mode is way better than in a normal photo mode, which is a little weird. So in the normal photo mode there's everywhere this blue noise when it's dark, and in a night mode you can't see this blue noise. In the preview and in the final shot, the white balance from the night mode is often much better, especially with the 10x camera. I don't know why they just don't make the correct white balance also in the photo mode. Would be better, but it's Samsung. So if you then finally took a picture in the night mode or in the normal photo mode, then you see that the picture is still very noisy with the blue and yellow noise, and that's a thing Samsung can improve. So if you for example go into Lightroom, then import a picture which is noisy, then you can just go to detail and then reduce this color noise. The good thing about this setting is that no detail get lost, so it just removes that noise. And Samsung should definitely use this option or some kind of that in their night mode photos and in their normal photos, because they can improve their pictures with that option. The highlights at some pictures are often just too bright. When you take a photo of, I don't know, ground, then maybe some leaves, some sticks, I don't know, are just too bright and completely white. But that just happens sometimes, not every time. Now we have to talk about the zoom, because you think, wow, the camera can zoom up to 100 times, but now I want to talk about the truth. So when you over 20 times zoom, the software tries to optimize the image so it looks better, but in reality it just makes it worse. Here an example, the left side we have 90.9x zoom and on the right side 20x zoom. And you can see more detail on the 90.9x zoom. You can improve it with software, I think, but they just did it wrong and made it even worse. So if you try to remaster the picture with the function remaster picture, it sometimes makes the zoom better, the 90.9x zoom, so you can see a little more detail, and I think it's great. So it also tries to improve some 20x shots, but when there's no detail, it just can't bring out more detail. But it makes it a little bit better, but there's no way to make the image excellent just with remaster picture, because it's already bad. So to sum up, it would be better if you just take a normal zoom with the 10x camera and then there's a better processing. So the processing is really bad, and that is so sad that they haven't fixed this or noticed this in years. So let's talk a little bit about Samsung Galerie. If you scroll through pictures with that scroll bar down there, the photos don't render at full quality. You have to stop and then it's full quality. Quite annoying. If you want to edit a video and then just remove the beginning of the video, it takes very long to render. But if you cut the end of the video, it just takes, I don't know, 1 second to render. I don't know why, but the competition can do it faster if you remove the beginning of a video and then render it. So now I want to talk about remaster picture. It's a new feature with Android 12, and I just want to tell you my thoughts and what I have noticed in these years. So like the AI upscaling for photos, so when there's a photo with a really low resolution, like when you download it in the internet, then you can upscale it. That works really good. But when you have a really dark picture and want to refine it, then the remaster picture often makes the dark or like the black to a gray, which is really ugly, and often they make these dark pictures very green. Why? I don't know. Sometimes they do noise reduction at some pictures. You would say it's nice, but sometimes it's just too much noise reduction and then the details get lost. So let's talk a little bit about Bixby. A lot of people hate Bixby, but I think it's a really nice piece of software. In a lot of cases, Bixby is also a lot faster than the Google Assistant. Bixby is in general therefore to entertain you and not to research for things. So if you want to research for a specific topic, then I would say you better use Google. But Bixby often just has a funny answer of your question. They really upgraded Bixby in the recent years. So let's talk about Android 12, the whole reason why I'm making this video. So let's start with the worst point about it. So if you open an app and then close it with the gesture controls activated, so you just close it and then wipe up again, or just go to this all app area where you see all your apps, then the closed app will just appear for some frames, and that's so annoying. I have some videos to show it you, and it's so disgusting. And they didn't fix it that you have an inconsistent starting animation. So if you have your mobile on standby, so black screen, and then you just unlock it with your fingerprint, you have no animation. But if you just turn it on, so you're on your lock screen and then you unlock it, you have a better animation. Not a nice one, but a better. Really weird. Then with the activated 120 Hz, if you scroll, it sometimes just lags and it's not really smooth in Twitter, Instagram. It's not in YouTube, not in the settings app, but in third-party apps it can appear. In Android 11 it wasn't like that, so I hope they fix it, because I think in the Android 12 beta of the Google Pixel it was exactly the same, but they fixed it with the stable release, but Samsung didn't. So the Edge panel, if you open the Edge panel, it's very laggy. It's like 3 frames. If you open it, it's literally 3 frames or something. It's every time you open it. It's so disgusting, and they haven't fixed it for years. If you go to all your apps, I don't know how to name it, but where you can see all your apps, the dark mode gets really dark. That's also new, and I don't like it because it's very dark and you can't even turn it off. I just want to point that out. If you go to your gallery and then to a video and you click on edit, it often is just, or isn't smooth. Just to again 3 frames or something. And imagine you're coding your app, you're testing it, and you notice this, that's like 3 frames and it's disgusting, and you just say, yes, let's just release that. It's so stupid. If you go to your lock screen, your notification background, or your notification background is very transparent. I don't know why they have done it, but after I installed this update they changed the settings, so my notification background was very transparent. I just had to change this. I don't know why they did that. So now let's talk about the color palette, the color theme thing in Android 12. If you show some background, you can change your color theme palette, I don't know. So your whole UI matches the color of the background, which is nice. But if you go into the settings, you notice that the top image has a very low quality and just looks disgusting. And if you are in dark mode, the edges are wrong rounded. And if I go into light mode, you can see that the corners are rounded right. But in dark mode, it's just wrong. I don't know how you can't notice this, but interesting. And if you have a color palette activated, you go, for example, to Bluetooth, and there you see that your icons are black. So you have dark mode and color palette, and your icons just are black instead of white. Black on black, you can't read well. And if you have a color palette activated, the clock on your lock screen will automatically go to automatic color pick thing. So the color of the clock will match the background, which is weird, because if I have a yellow background, for example, and then I have a yellow text, then I can't read the text because both things are yellow. So the color just changes if you activate a color palette, which is not nice. In your color palette, you can set apply palette to app icons, so that your camera app, your Samsung internet app, all these apps get the same color as your background. But the problem is not every app does that. Your reminder in Samsung Notes doesn't do that. And if you search, for example, the camera app, it is still red, but your camera app on your home screen is your color of your background. So the last thing is not so important, but I just want to point them out. If you go to a lock screen, then go to your app shortcuts, and if you have your flashlight there and activate it, then your screen gets blurry and instant, well, not blurry, which doesn't look that great when it talks. English sind wir schon wieder gelandet. The weather app has a really nice new design, but if you go down to sunrise and sunset, then these animations are a little buggy and glitchy, but I hope they fix this with the new update. Okay, now I'm going to go speed mode, because these things I will mention now are just small annoying things. So first, if you're trying to share an image in your Galerie app, then there will be a new sharing design, but this design is worse than the older one. So if you play the slow-mo, you can see that this symbol is just really bugged and it doesn't look that nice. In general, the whole animation is just trash. If an app wants to know your location, you can set it to precise or to approximate. But if you switch between those both, then there can appear some bugs. In this video, you can see that this close all button doesn't look that great. In general, if you're trying to switch between apps which are vertical, then it won't look that good. If you search something in the search bar here and then you close it, your background will be blurred for half a second. With Android 12 they fixed if you close your camera, this closing animation is really laggy and they fixed this. But if you now go to your all app area and then open and swipe up again, then the camera gets really buggy. Yeah, you can see it in the video. If you go into device control or media output and then wipe up, then again open the app, you can see that's a really bad animation and I think it's a bug or something. And if you also go into media output and then wipe up, your phone goes crazy. I also often have this bug that the background blur, if I close an app, is really bugged. I don't know how this even happens, but I have to restart the whole phone to fix this annoying bug. It's really weird. I hope they really fix these bugs. With the new Quickpanel design there also came some new bugs. For example, if you click on Bluetooth, then on done and then swipe up again, yeah, you see it doesn't look that nice. Or if you're in the Quickpanel and swipe up again, here play it in the slow-mo so you can see it better. Yeah, it just doesn't look that nice because it just looks cut off and not nice. In Android 11 it was way better. Then I want to talk about battery life. I get like 3 to 4 hours if I have protect battery on, so that my battery only charges to 84%. So then some good things. So of course Android 12 has a lot of improvements. The background blur is better controlled, and if you want to edit a photo and then you brighten it up or set a exposure, I don't know, higher, then you can just set it again to 0, so like reset the values, which is really nice and a good improvement. And like in OneUI 3, some settings are better explained, which is really nice. OneUI 3 improved that, but OneUI 4 improved it even further. Then also a good thing, if you go to clock and then to timer and then just scroll and set a minute, like 10, then you have a really nice vibration feedback, which is really improved in all apps. So to sum up, everything feels like a beta and it's not finished, and they released this version. I hope they're working on an update to fix a lot of these bugs and improve things. So yeah, some of the mentioned things like the blur screen with the flashlight, the pixelated color palette, the restarting animation in the weather app, or how the new sharing design in the gallery looks. Those things aren't that dramatically, but software issues like the not working color noise reduction, the navigation problem with the gestures, the zooming optimization, the not fully rendering image in the gallery app, and much more. These things are dramatically and need to be fixed. and I hope Samsung is really updating the software and hopefully they think smart. But that's it with my video, hope you enjoyed, and bye!